Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to discuss about my swing trading strategy. I have two strategies, that is the swing trading and day trading. So this is the day trading strategy, and these are the checklist, 8 checklist. And then I also have the swing strategy. Both of them are SMC. The swing strategy here, 8 checklist 2. This is the most profitable of all because it has even high win rate and high RR, and at the same time less trade. So you are going to backtest with me for the trade that preceded here, from this point here to that point, this point here. So these trades here you are going to backtest with me, including the today's trade that played out. So what are the conditions that you need to know? This strategy is an SMC and it covers almost all the things that you need to know about SMC. So let's start with the trade that took place on 23rd, on 24th rather. So let's cut this down here. So the first thing we need to do is to identify trend in daily time frame direction, so that we find a close opposite. That is what I mean, trending daily time frame direction, close opposite direction. Like as you can see, this has been a buying market, so there was a close on the opposite direction here. That means that the following day we are really going to have a very heavy continuation to cover these highs. So that is the criteria number 1. Criteria number 2, 4 hours align. So let's go to 4 hours. So we go to 4 hours to wait for alignment. So basically we are waiting for 4 hours to align the first 4 hours. So we got a daily that is still a push down, and then we get an alignment there. Why? Because an alignment means the candle has started checking the highs and lows of the highs or lows of the previous market in relation to our direction. So like in this case, this high has been taken here, meaning that the price has aligned. Now there are so many criteria that I put in place, but these are the checklist. So I only take trade when the checklist is complete, but there are other additional information that dictates when we should take a trade or look for a trade. But ideally this is the general thing. The rest are not written here for simplicity. So when market align like this, that is what is called here first 4 hour aligning confirmed. Market is already now bullish and has aligned with the daily time frame now, the overall trend. Next, 30 minutes we look for manipulations in 30 minutes. We look for manipulations in 30 minutes, and then we look for manipulations in 30 minutes. Manipulation in 30 minutes, that is first 30 minutes V-shaped aggressive manipulation. So we go to 30 minutes and start monitoring the time. So let's check and wait for 30 minutes to align. So this is where the 4 hour aligned, and now let's wait for manipulations or generally the pullbacks. So we need to wait for an aggressive pullback, so let's wait and see. So the first one takes the high. It means that the high of this previous candle has also been taken. So anything that will be pulling down is just a pullback, maybe to fill this imbalance, etc. But everything has now, the market has even shifted. Like now we can see that is a very strong down movement, but that one is not enough. Now that is what is called manipulation. So I've seen exactly, so this is what is called a V-shaped reaction. As you can see, it was just moving up and then immediately started turning down on a V-shaped reaction. So now we wait for the entry, which is 30 minutes full body closure and 15 minutes scope. So what is important is 30 minutes full body closure in our direction, and there you go, that is full body closure in our direction. It's good to go. So the market is ready to buy now. Now if you go to 15 minutes, you should be able to see that this was a scope formed here. So there are two options of entry now at this particular level. There are two levels of entries. Either you enter directly, market execution, stop loss 16 pips is so much, so do 12 pips, no problem, but that is still so much. We'll try and narrow it down and see if the market is going to pull back, but in most occasions you will end up missing trades. If you are waiting for the market to pull back to the scope, you may end up missing trades. So this is the overall target. Ideally this is the overall target for a 1 to 6. So personally I don't like waiting for pullback unless the candle that closes here, the first scope formed is a scope formed before 30 minutes candle close. That is when you can wait for pullback. Otherwise, from this point the market will be very aggressive if the direction is correct. That is why it is not advisable to wait for pullback down. Just do a market execution and see the trade play out. So let's see. So there we go, the market now pulls back down again, and then now we wait and see everything now, and that is it. Full TP taken. So as you can see, that was the trade. So this was a 1 to 6, at least a 1 to 6. So if 15 minutes was waited, if you waited on 15 minutes, this was supposed to be the trade here for a 9 pip stop loss, but in most occasions I tell you they don't get tagged. So what I always do is go to 15 minutes and see this small reaction here, and that is why I'm going to take my trade for at least a 1 to 6. Now what does the rest of the part says? So this is hindsight, obviously, because this is just a backtesting session to recap all the trades that took place this week. I'm going to do, like, I think there are about 13 trades that took place this week. Obviously you can't take all of them. I just take the clearest from all the setups. So you can see entry on 30 minutes full body closure and 15 minutes scope, then SL few pips below the above 30 minutes candle. So this candle few pips below it, like in this case, I don't know how much this was. Yeah, you can see here just about 2 pips, and then SL above previous high or low, like in this case it's high of the daily direction. So daily direction trend is bullish, so this is the daily direction. So ideally how I would manage this trade is I would be bringing stop loss very close as it's going. This is the first area of pullback you should be expecting. Immediately 4 hours closes, we are expecting a pullback. So unless you wanted to get a re-entry, this is how you get a re-entry. When this is 4 hours here, and 4 hours will close, and then you expect another manipulation. This is part manipulation, aggressive down move, showing people that it wants to move, and then again you can take another entry when you see a full body closure. So this was another full body closure, but usually you can easily get swept, but this was the additional entry. This is called Judas swing. So all this strategy includes everything that SMC teaches about, and even ICT. I've just simplified it for my own use and for people who follow me, a very small circle. So if you check here and you trade ICT, you will see that this was Judas swing here. There was some sort of Judas swing here. This down move here, it was not perfect though. This down move here was a Judas swing. At the same time, this down move here is a Judas swing. That is why I wait for that manipulation. So to me, I call it manipulation. For other people it can be different name, but that is the ideal one. So this was a 1 to 4. Anything above 1 to 4 was okay. You can take your profit at 1 to 4. What time was this? This was 9, about the time I'm about to sleep. So obviously I would have trailed my stop loss to at least a 1 to 4 and then let the rest run overnight. So maybe 3 point something here or somewhere here, 1 to 3 thereabout, and then you leave the rest run. Alternatively, if I was in this trade and I got a re-entry, I would wait to see if this is takes 1 to 3. So this is 1 to 4. I would have taken this a 1 to 4 trade. You take all of it out so that you avoid risk, and then you leave this one as a runner. So this strategy is for flipping because we expect minimal drawdown, like other examples I'm going to show you from other pairs. So that is why you can easily stack trades here. Every 30 minutes you stack trade until your TP is hit, or until a reasonable amount, like let's say you can say that you can argue that this is a supply zone that should be respected, and that is why you see there was a small reaction. But to me, this is just an SMT, and most likely it's going to be swept. Give a small reaction and then it sweeps. That is why I'm saying this strategy tries to obey almost this strategy almost incorporate all of the SMC strategies or SMC trades. So let's go to the next one. The next one I think took place on the next one took place on the next one took place on 26th. The next one took place on 26th. So let's go to 26th daily time frame. So as you can see, this was on 25th. We get a full body closure. So let's remove the first bar. We get a full body closure. The market is still on the buy trend, so we get a full body closure. Where is the full body closure? So this is the full body closure in opposite direction. As you can see, the market is buying, then all of a sudden we have a down trend. So you can mark that, the high and the low. It's okay. And then next is 4 hours to align. So you wait for the first 4-hour alignment so that you can get the best entry. Now if you incorporate other SMC reasonings, which I've already incorporated here, you will say, for example, there's an imbalance here that needs to be filled. By the way, I'm just incorporating for people who think who will start reasoning with me. There is imbalance here that needs to be filled for the ICT and the SMC people, and that is why it is very logical to take an opposite trade. Again, after that we wait for the first 4 hours to align. So first 4 hours, the first one does not align because the high of this is not taken. Again, that one aligns nicely, as you can see. So that one has aligned. Now there's alternative ways of getting entry. If this is too early for you, you could wake up and confirm and take the entry when the market pulls back down here. You can even take entry on 4 hours. That is why it's called a swing. You take it at 4 hours. So you wait for the market to pull back there. But I just don't know at what point will manipulation stop. That is why I would like to get a confirmation entry. So this is called risk entry. So stop loss, ideally the stop loss should be here for 14 pips, and then this is take profit 1 to 5. This is still okay. So let's take that route and see if it played out. played out eventually. Let's see. Oh, this is today, sorry, this is today, the one I shared. This was supposed to be a today's trade. This was supposed to be today's trade. So this is still playing out. As you can see, it has not yet reached take profit, all of it, but it is going to reach eventually. But this is just a 1 to 4 was just enough. That is why we trail stop losses, that we don't give out to the market. So since it has come out, let me just explain it. Now let me start by explaining this trade here, and see how it went. So let's replay here. So let's recap this. So we go to 30 minutes. We go to 30 minutes and wait for manipulation. So that thing that just happened there is always a very good confirmation. It's always a very good confirmation. Because it has taken the high of this previous candle, and for that reason it's good to wait for the manipulation to come down. That is the pullback. So we are still waiting for the pullback. We're still waiting for the pullback to happen. Now we can start seeing the pullback happening. Now that is the manipulation point. This is the manipulation, the V-shaped. As you can see, the V-shaped pullback. Now we are waiting for 30 minutes full body closure. So let's wait and see if we are going to get a full body closure. Now that week is very important. It shows that that momentum down is over. So ideally you can take your entry from that point. You can take your entry from that week. You can take your entry from that week, because you already have a closure. Or you can wait for a full big body closure. But if you are a risk taker, you can take that target at least a 1 to 4, sorry. This is the ideal TP, but not all the time it will go directly like that. So that is why it is good to be trailing stop loss. So let's see how it goes. Let's see how it is going to go. No, it's not playing. So let's see how it goes. My internet is misbehaving. I wonder why. Now you can see it. There we go. There we go. So it came back to, so it depends with the trader. Like this was 2.5. it should have been stopped out at half or break even, or if, like in this case, with this movement, it is not advisable to just bring your stop loss, because this movement here to break even, rather, because this movement here is so congested. We need something like this in our direction. So this was a 1 to 4, which is okay. So at this particular point it's good to trail stop loss because of this movement. So let's see how it goes. So that was good. When you trail your stop loss, maybe it would have stopped you here, because not all trade works perfectly. Alternatively, if you hold to break even here, now this thing is going to eventually play, or it will stop you out at break even. So this is the trade of that day. So it depends with how you took it, or if you got a re-entry, because this is still manipulation. So if you got re-entry, this is still the trade. So now for today's trade, So how did it go? Let's just check a little bit. So it came out, stopped you at break even, and then it started moving. Another entry was here if you like, but that is now too much. Just let it go. So let's check today's trade. Now this is the reason why I didn't take it. I didn't take today's trade as much as the daily closed on the opposite direction, but I have other rules that I have not stated here that says that if the market starts to range like this, you avoid taking trades if the market starts to range like this, because most likely it is building momentum. As the market moves in a range, then we'll have initiation, then we can have mitigation, and then you have continuation, or range, initiation, mitigation, continuation. So we stay calm and wait for the right moment to strike again. So as you can see, what happened here is this: we have this other continuation is not yet materializing, so we have to play with this. As you can see, this is close in opposite direction when the market is still buying. So what do you do next? You go 4 hours and wait for alignment. Wait for 4 hours alignment. So let's see. Now the market aligned immediately here. This is today. So when the market aligned here, it was okay. So let's wait for manipulation. 30 minutes V-shaped aggressive manipulation. So let's see and try. Let's see if we are going to get manipulation. So this strategy requires you to, if you are in Kenya, it requires you to wake up a little bit early to take it, so that you have a free day with you. That is why I developed it. Now you can see that that is manipulation. Now this is manipulation. The only problem is that I have other rules that I have not stated here, is that it is low probability if it doesn't start by taking the upper side. When it takes the upper side, it means it has taken the high of this previous candle. It means that is secondary alignment, and that is always high probability. But when it takes it aligns, because the market aligned somewhere here and then immediately start pulling back, it can pull back forever. So I also have that rule. I know that this is now low probability trade, but I just have to keep my eyes on the lookout. So I'm just waiting for 30 minutes full body closure candle. Now that is full body candle closure, but just know that it is low probability and it could easily be wicked out. The best entry here is to wait for this to be taken. If this is not yet taken, most likely we are going to have a pullback before we continue. But if it was taken first, we are not going to have pullback. So like in this case, entry number 1 was supposed to be this, but now you will have to have a relatively bigger SL. Like in this case, we can have, let's say, 6 pip stop loss to avoid being liquidated. Okay, some of you may think that is so small stop loss, but it's okay. Like I said, it's low probability trade. As you can see, scope has already started forming in 15 minutes. On 30 minutes, we are only waiting for full body candle closure. So the target is anything above here. So this is 1 to 7 if it happens to play. Now let's wait and see. So we get the first reaction out. See, it's always liquidate. It wants to liquidate that nicely. So as the reason why I said this is low probability entry, because the upper side was not taken, so it is building more liquidity down here before it starts to move. As you can see, now we get that movement. Then you can see again we have another liquidation, because this upper side was not liquidated, so liquidity is more downside here. And then we now get the market is still playing around, and then now we get a full body closure upwards. So at this particular point, this market is going to go, in most occasions it goes without a lot of pullback. So that the best high probability entry was when this high was taken. That is when it confirmed that truly it wants to buy. So this would have been a very big stop loss, but this should be a re-entry. I don't know if it will play. It should give us at least a 1 to 3, but in most occasions if it is re-entry you don't mind so much, so you just let it play. And as you can see, the profit was smashed rapidly, and this is where the market is currently is. The market has just pulled down. I think there was some news, let me see, of Powell is speaking today, so that is why you see the such big moves. But this was the correct trade of the day. It even gave more than 1 to 7, and as you can see, if you are trailing your stop loss, you can see the momentum immediately this high was taken. So if this high was taken here and then it came down here, you can even have a very tight stop loss, because now the liquidity is on the upper side. You can have a tighter stop loss like this. But see, in this case, anything above 6 pips is okay, or 7 or 6.5, depends with your risk tolerance. So like personally, I would have taken a 6 pip stop loss, because I know that this, or even a 7 depending on the account that I'm using. If it's a pro firm that is have different pro firms, if it's a pro firm that is having low spreads, high spread, sorry, I will have to give it a bigger room for breathing. So this was a trade. It was a very nice trade, at least a 1 to 7 that played out here today very fast, like in a 1 hour 30 minutes, and it was done. So sometimes it takes long, but because liquidity was built up here, so I still believe that this market is going to, okay, it has done its part now. No, it is not yet done. This market is still going to, this is just manipulation. I still believe that by tomorrow you should wake up to seeing it taking this high, but that would be unnecessary to hold up to that long if you can get at least a 1 to 4 in this move. So that was the trade of today. So I'm going to analyze the next pair, which is NZD USD. So be on the lookout.